My name is Wallace. I am a friggin' vampire and um, doing this video series talking about all my nonsensical, whimsical, stupid issues that I frankly don't really care about. Um, I Something happened today that I want to talk about. Interesting, something inside my brain, like a switch turned on, like real like rock star moment of realization. Like clearly I'm a man, right? Like I'm a male. I'm very masculine at times. I feel like I'm the leader. Sorry for the stupid sounds. My phone just makes notifications or whatever. um I feel like I'm the leader. Like I get to lead and be a part of like other men. Sorry, I had my phone off. I turned my phone on, and I guess I get notifications. I haven't figured I haven't figured out how to turn that crap off, but this is great. It's always like notifications of stuff like I didn't sign up for, just like random crap. No idea. All right, so I think I live a pretty privileged life. I really do. And I'll talk about that moment of realization today. I just got through watching. It's kind of late at night. Not too late. Feels late because I've worked a lot today. Um, I watched a few videos of this new series on Netflix I'm watching. It has to do with it's called like Love and Sex or something like that. I think that's the name of it. It's a documentary series about different cultures around the world, and the way they have relationships and the different things that are not acceptable in their culture, and how it in contrast to how it is here, um, you know where I live. So anyways, yeah, I'm a little overwhelmed. Couple things happened today. I feel like I've got a few rewards, and by rewards I mean thank yous and good jobs, and hey, come here, you're amazing, you like just come here, I want to see you really quick, oh wow, thank you so much, good job. you know I I know that sounds weird because it is, but not in like a bad way. And here's why I say that. I'm starting to like you have to understand that I'm kind of a dumb creature. Like I think logically, and from like my upbringing, I've learned about like I was working on computers and like software and stuff for years. Okay. So like, to be honest, a lot of the intricacies of people eluded me. And then I got a job where I'm around people constantly, you know. Um but today was kind of a wake up call cuz like I started to interact with people like, to me, like I'm trying to put this in terms that make sense to me, but I know like it'll, if I say it, I won't like how it sounds, and it makes like it's kind of derogatory, like not a positive thing to say, but like I felt like a male model today. I really did. Like I felt like it's like I know that people, how do I say this? It's like people don't get certain feelings all the time. Like there are certain reactions that the body feels that are rare and they can't get, you know. So people look for that because they're like, I love this feeling. I've never felt this feeling before. This is so, like, what is this? How do I get this again? And I understand that. I understand that, like, from experience. But now I'm getting, I have a knowledge um, of like things that I wouldn't understand if I haven't spent years working alongside women. So I wouldn't know because I am a man. Um, what I'm trying to say is that um, I think I deserve. I think what I'm trying to say is that getting rewarded and getting the attaboys and the good job and the hey, you're freaking amazing, thank you so much, and like essentially like special treatment. Like I think I deserve it, and here's why. Like beyond the whole vampire supernatural thing, beyond the whole hey, I'm an alpha male leader thing, beyond like how I look, beyond all of that, the experience and my instincts and how they've been trained and developed, the time and effort over just over time, this it's a this the training that my body has developed and the knowledge of how people are. I think just that is you see that anybody could possess that, any male or female or anybody, and that alone is something that me personally I would say, wow, it doesn't matter anything else. You can look, you can be however you want, but you have that knowledge, your instincts. That's extremely attractive to me as a just as a person. Now, here's what I know about um, the effects on the body of getting recognition and praise and adoration from people who are powerful or who I see as very talented, um, inherently. Let's say these are extraordinary people of extraordinary in different ways. When an extraordinary person praises you, I know that my body the next morning, the next day after I sleep, I wake up, I'm going to feel different. I'm going to feel more confident. I'm going to feel my instincts, my body's going to change. I'm going to get better. I may even feel healthier. It's kind of addicting. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, You know how you talk about like dopamine? If people talk about dopamine release when you're stimulated or whatever, it's not even that. I don't feel like you get dopamine from it, but it's just like maybe I've just been trained. Like I don't want to compare myself to like a dog or whatever, but you know I like dogs, and I saw a service animal today. You know, while I was leaving the gym, uh, and you know there's a well trained dog, and the dog is I couldn't help but notice how you know that dog seems superior to other dogs. I could just pick up on him like, yeah, that's a smart freaking dog with a lot of self control, with a lot of knowledge. I mean, it was looking at me. I didn't see it at first. It's a service dog. There's a lady on treadmill, and I'm walking out. You know, I'm like, can't really see. Don't have my glasses on or anything like that. You know, I don't. You know, I didn't have my contacts at the time, and I look. And, you know, I just see something on the ground. I thought it was a vacuum, but something in my body picked up on like I felt something. I was like, what the? What's there's something there? And I'm like, nah, it's just a vacuum. I'm like, no, my body's telling me that's something. So I'm looking at this dog. I'm walking out, and I get close enough to identify it's like a German Shepherd. It's looking at me, and I can feel it. You can feel like this. I could feel this like energy, like this alpha energy, this anger. You know, it's like I realize in my head, like, oh shit, I'm staring down a dog that is feeling aggression towards me right now. I'm like, oh, and as soon as I realize that, you know, I turn away. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm challenging this dog, and this is bad. Of course, I don't want to do this. It's not my intention at all. It's an accident. And I could hear the service owner, like the person who owned the dog, could pick up on that energy as well from the dog. And like next thing I know, the person is like making like the pss, pss, pss sound or whatever, trying to get the dog to calm down. And I'm like, damn, that's one smart animal, you know. My point is that yes, I am trained. Like yes, I do have incredible restraint and knowledge. I do, you know, not as good as other people. Clearly, there's a lot of things that I'm still learning about. Um, people, you know. But just like that service dog, you know, I was really freaking impressed. I didn't care about how that dog looked. I didn't care. I just realized, you know, I know that dog was emotional, and that dog was getting pissed off at me because, you know, it didn't like me to begin with because it could feel that my energy, you know, it's like, hey, here's this really alpha dominant creature, and I don't like that guy. And I don't blame the dog. You know, I know that feeling. Like I see another alpha dominant dude, and I'm like, I know that feeling. And anywho, um, so I'm watching this video series, right? And of course, they talk about taboo stuff in the cultures, different cultures, and you know, it has to do with sex and stuff like that, and fetishes or whatever, and desires and stuff like that. And I realized like, and I've had several. You know how some guys will just straight. You know they're so fed up with something. You ever hear a guy who's so fed up that he's just like blurts out something. He does not care about your feelings, about how you feel about it at all. He's just like you are such pain in my ass. It's like you're just vampire porn. You're just a fetish for these women. Like it's all you are. You are nothing but a fetish. And like something clicked in my brain. It's not the fact that I heard that today. That's not what I heard today. But you know, watching the series and I think it's more like a realization that that is the truth, an acceptance. It's not so much an acceptance, but like I'm like, damn, like I feel like I'm perfecting a fetish. Sounds really freaking weird, and makes me uncomfortable a little bit. But it's like I'm just being me, you know, and I'm not doing anything. Like I haven't had sex in years, right? So it's just like the reason why I'm feeling a little um, giddy, if you will, a little bit like happy. Is I feel good about myself. I really do. I see these other I see other uh, like even in the series they interviewed a celebrity, a Bollywood celebrity, an actress. She's celebrated for how beautiful she is and how attractive she is to men, and she's an activist promoting things to help people. You know, and I know that's normal. Like we have that in our society too. Like we have like that. I know I'm like being weird about this, but my point is that I definitely got a niche, yeah, niche that I'm fulfilling as far as like the vampire fantasy porn, not porn, but like the fetish. I misspoke, but it makes me feel. The reason why it makes me feel good is like there's a part of me that feels terrible for being a vampire. I'll admit that. I'm like, I make videos about saying, oh, I feel like shit. I'm in conflict with myself. Like, I don't feel good. I'm living a life of suffering, basically. And I'm really, you'd have to know me a lot better to understand why I say that. And it is the truth to keep myself, uh, contained, uh, the vampire side of me. But I felt good about myself. I felt good about being a vampire. I'm like, hey, this is like a common, this is an out in the open thing. I know like none of the women that I know are gonna tell me that, you know, like, hey, I got a fetish for you. None of the women would say that. None of them. Can't even imagine. But just like the realization that that is a very strong thing. It's not just a thing. It's a very very strong thing. Um, has effect on me, and it definitely has effect on me as a vampire. Um, I feel like I'm contributing. Honestly, I feel like I know this sounds I after I became a vampire and like time after that, I felt like a burden. I really did. I still do, but like that I didn't know that I had that um, feeling, so to speak. It was kind of in the background, but like after today, like that burden of hey, like why am I feel bad for even being, you know, can't help it. I just because enough negative experiences. I'm like, well, I'm just like you know, don't want to say go too far into. I kind of do. It's kind of therapeutic. I should just say it. Like I feel because I'm a vampire. And I have gotten a lot of negativity that I'm a burden or like a waste. You know, uh, waste of life, abomination, things like that. Which is not true. But I mean, if you hear that stuff, it gets to you. I don't care who you are. I do believe that. I don't care who you are. If you hear stuff like that, it gets to you. And so yeah, that burden inside. I feel like I'm contributing. Like now that I'm like that switch turned on, that it clicked. You know that I'm contributing. by being a fetish. Just say it. I don't feel bad about saying that. I don't, like I don't. I'm not a male model. I'm not like I look ridiculous. I really do. I've been called primal. He looks primal. He is primal. You know, just like a primal dude who is a vampire, and that is a contribution to women. I'm like, I don't. I'm just being me. You know, I like growing out my hair. You know, I like being a vampire. Can't help it. Uh, you ever see those? Like, I was watching an anime. I watch anime. I was watching and it was the end of a season of this anime that I'm watching, and one of the characters who's kind of like me, he made, he said a phrase that's very well known to guys. It's like everything that I ever get close to leaves me. It's basically what he said. If I get close to someone, they eventually leave. They leave. Can't get close to anybody. Um, that's one of those like statements. It's like self sabotaging or whatever. It's one of those statements that is true, but is not quite true. Uh, not, even the characters, like, I know this is not entirely true, but I'm holding firm to this belief. And part of me wants to be like that character. There is a part of me that just says like, well, I'm around a lot of women. I'm contributing because I'm around a lot of women. Well, part of me is like an itch. I don't know. It's just part of being a guy, but it's like, if if women weren't around, what what if I just, like, part of me just wants to self sabotage, so to speak, and just be like, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna go. You know, like, I'm so used to doing that. Like, when I get upset, let's say like today, I had a long day. I was walking on a treadmill. I was going through my routine of like thinking about things, letting it go, thinking about things, letting it go. Just trying to relax. Next thing I know, there's two girls giggling beside me, and I'm like getting like, uh, you know, I was getting frustrated, and the more frustrated I felt, because I was trying to do my routine of relaxing, and there's people laughing beside me, but girls giggling and trying to get my attention. The more frustrated I got, the more um, the girls beside me were enjoying it. So what did I do? I said, I'm not enjoying myself right now. I'm gonna walk away. That's the feeling that I feel. It's like, I'm not enjoying myself. I'm gonna walk away. Like that. That's my go-to. Like, if I'm not enjoying myself, I'm gonna walk away. It's not about whether or not it's worth it. It's just a feeling. It's like, oh, it's like it's not an alarm going off, but it's like the microwave. You're like, I'm making popcorn or something, and I don't do that anymore. That's just as a side note. For some reason, I've stopped liking popcorn. I used to eat popcorn all the time. Kind of weird. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, but I don't know why I stopped. But anyways, it's like the microwave oven saying, "Oh, it's time. Popcorn's ready. Time to get the popcorn." It's like in my brain, I'm like, "Well, time to go." I know, like it's like it doesn't even make sense. And I realize that a lot of the women that I work with are very knowledgeable of men, and I think they're hyper aware of that uh, thing, that feeling, that microwave oven, if you will, inside of me, and I think it terrifies them. And I think it terrifies anybody who in my family too. Anybody like who was close to me, they're like, well, we don't want him to walk away. We're having a good time. Um, but I don't understand that feeling. I'm trying to understand that. Like what's caught? Why do I feel that? I'm like I literally just said like, hey, I feel like I'm contributing. This is great. I feel this positive emotion, but I also feel like this with me. Maybe it's like a sense of completion. Like maybe I feel like, hey, I achieved this, and like, oh, I feel achieved for some reason. Okay, that's what I needed. Now I'm done. I know that sounds weird, but at the same time, I don't think it does. It doesn't sound weird. Um, and like, there's a part of me that, like, I'm so emotionally aware of myself that if I feel an emotion, it's just like, oh, okay, I feel an emotion. So what? You know, it's like, oh, I feel this feeling. I feel these feelings. I feel this sense of completion feeling. Like it's meaningless. They're feelings to me. They have power. It affects my vampirism. Really does. Not being figurative. I'm being literal. So yeah, feelings have power of the body, and I don't know. I do feel this uncomfortable feeling, but I also feel this relief and uncertainty about my of what may come tomorrow. As far as my feelings and how I'm gonna feel. But I'm definitely aware. I'm aware of my self, and I think I'm more so aware of myself, keeping an active watch on my feelings because out of curiosity, but also because it's a good distraction. It's kind of a hobby of mine, honestly, because frankly, I really don't do much. Like I feel like I do more than most guys do, but to me, I'm really not doing crap. You know, like I know this is gonna sound kind of weird, but it's like, hey, I went to the gym 3 times today. I worked. I put on a show, entertained. I read a book. I recorded some videos. I rode my bike a lot. I did these things. But it's like, well, it's not really anything, right? Depends on who you're talking to or who's listening. But like to me, that's you know. So yeah, um, when I was younger, I used to hate guys like me. I used to hate guys like me because I see guys like who are women who are like surrounded by girls or whatever, and they're getting all this attention and stuff, and they're like have these opportunities to have conversations and situations. And I was just thinking like, oh, just because that guy has this and this feature, he's not really like, what is it? What is it? What does this guy really have? It's really freaking bothering me, and it's I think today, I had a weird growing up moment because like there were guys doing that to me. It's like, oh, I'm in. Suddenly, it's the role reversal. It's like, oh, I know how these guys feel because I know that feeling. It's like this. It's a form of jealousy, but it's like a good form of it. Like, I feel like there's different forms of different emotions. Uh, but anyways, part of me is really stupid, and let me just. I'm going to end this video here, but I want to talk about this next part because I think it's important to me. It has to do with using the logical part of my mind. It may not actually be stupid since I'm using the logical part of my mind, but I'm going to talk about it next video. All right. Thanks, y'all, for watching. Bye.